that and within the charters of all these organizations for which we harness our power. I want you to understand distinctively here. You speak of the word supreme. I don't like that in the context of just in terms of this present dynamics and arrangements, because it always refers to some dictatorial concept and things like that of supreme. But I like to use the word archbearer, is that we are going to say to civil society that this is your power, this is your role. You have not taken that up, but let's take it up now. And this is where your role, your power, your instructions come from. It's not to stand as a supreme being, but it's to stand aptly within the sovereign space where you're supposed to. So in no longer will the political system be occupying the entire space. It is, so someone has to come along. Someone must come along.
Here comes
so, and to enforce and to place themselves aptly within and to speak and educate the people. We're seeing this happen.
We're virtually out of time. I hate to cut you, but who are we? In this first introductory program, spare some time to tell us. You've hinted at your agenda, you've hinted at what the GNCPP is or will be. Now, who is the GNCPP? Do you have any plans for international affiliations? Do you have plans for funding? No matter what you said you were going to do, you have to have some sort of funding. Who are your members? Who are your target audiences in the first instance? A little about the GNCPP in terms of personnel and
GNCPP is comprised of a number of trustees that are within the fabric of the Guyana society. We are actually targeting and looking to the normal citizens within civil society. Some of the politicians may also say that they would like to know that they are mutually exclusive in that regards. Now, it is GNCP's intent to spend the first $500 million in terms of properly putting themselves into a programmatic and functioning process.
The first what?
The first 500 million Guyana dollars into this. When you step in to occupy and to take your space, you cannot just come in and operate as if you're operating from a shoestring or a candy jar. You have to be able to have the ability to be effective, to be meticulously deliberate within the context of you need to make sure that, especially within this political sphere here, that they will understand specifically where it is.
You seriously coming in with $2 million US? You can get a lot of friends.
Well, regardless of what, but that is the first
Dr.
aspect
Thomas,
of it. That's the first aspect.
Yes, well, that's funding. Any international
yes, indeed. As I have previously said,
we really have to go.
We'll be back. As I have previously said, we have these strategic partners, whether it's going to be CARICOM, it's going to be the OAS, going to be UN, many other think tanks like the Carnegie Foundation, American Dialogue, many of these externals will be.
The GNCPP will be.
We will have.
Will be befriended by these.
These are right. These are going to, and also there's a conglomerate of 15 institutions within the United States that will be giving us institutional support.
I want to thank you for this introductory session with regard to the introduction, I'm repeating myself there, but the institutionalizing of what will be perhaps Guyana's premier think tank. We must be on the positive side and say, yes, it will be here. The GNCPP will be, I'm sure, presenting the public first to target audiences in the general Guyanese population with more literature, more programs such as these, as to have them make a decision about us, the GNCPP that is, and Dr. Thomas, who, if you hadn't known him by now, you certainly should have an idea of who he is, because he has said so much here. We'll have to excerpt a lot of the information given by him for future programs. I want to thank you for viewing and listening, and we'll be repeating this session here more than once, this particular program in segments. I want to thank you on behalf of the GNCPP, that's the Guyana National Council on Public Policy, for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fenty. Thank you, Ms. Lawrence, and thank you, Mr. Wolford, for having me.